Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed and this is my channel Alec Reads. And today we are reading Marriage Heartstopper fanfiction by heartstopper_fan22 on Wattpad. And today we are reading chapter 69, Nick's Jealous. So yeah, let's jump right in. But before I do that, remember to like, subscribe, and comment, whether it's recommendations or whether it's just to say hello. I love talking to you guys. Just say hello and I'll say hello back. But anyway, let's jump right in the video, and I will try my best to remember all of your requests. Chapter 69, Nick's Jealous. Nick's perspective. Shit. I didn't have much time till I needed to meet everyone for lunch. I quickly rode back to our apartment, got changed into a casual outfit. We weren't going anywhere fancy. Blue crew neck and some shorts will be fine. I left in our Jeep. After a few minutes of driving and listening to Taylor Swift, I was once again at Tao's house. I knocked a few times on the door before Tao came and answered it. Charlie fit into the class perfectly, Tao said with a cheery sarcasm. Good to hear. I knew he would do great. We both laughed slightly at our weird encounter with one another. Come in, we're just in here, Tao says, as if I'm not royalty, and bows his head as I walk in. I roll my eyes in return at his silly games. I walk into the living room of Tao and Elle's house. Aled is sitting on the end of the couch with Elle watching something on her phone. Summer and Lily are sitting on the armchair. Summer sitting on top of Lily, the much larger girl, talking about last night's episode of their favorite show. Charlie sat beside James, and he's holding Charlie's hand in his, sliding different rings on and off. Charlie's perspective. I've had a great time with everyone. They're all so nice and easy to talk with, which is nice because it avoided a lot of awkwardness. We played for a while and decided to go out to eat after. As much as I didn't want to go, I did want to. I hate the feeling of always being left out from things just because my mind is telling me some fucked up shit. Like, starve yourself, cause yourself pain, and think horrible thoughts about yourself. I don't want to let my disorders run my life, but I don't want anything bad to happen either. Nick is coming though, so I think everything will be fine. Speaking of my fiancé, there he is. We make eye contact and he smiles and walks over to me. James, who was beside me putting some rings on my fingers, he said I would look good with them on, so he was playing around with some different combinations and styles. Nick then comes up from behind the couch and hugs me from the back, then completely starts smothering me with countless kisses. I'm a very clingy individual, and so is Nick, but we were in a room full of people. Okay, fine. We do this when it's just the Paris squad, but I've barely met these other people, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I turn around and kiss him on the lips to stop him from kissing my cheeks and neck. He then looks at James, who's beside me. So what are you and my boyfriend doing? God, I know what he's doing now. He's jealous. He's jealous of James and me hanging out. I nudge him slightly, signaling him to cut it out. But of course, he doesn't. James replies, I thought these would look good on Charlie. With his dark hair matches a more edgy style, so I thought we should try some on. Then I put my hand in Nick's face and say, what do you think? He blushes slightly. I know by his face he likes it, but he won't admit it in front of James. He mumbles before letting go of me and taking a seat beside me on the couch. James was then taking off the rings because we were going to leave soon, and Nick unexpectedly pulls me into his lap, jerking my hand away from James. Nick, I whisper, yell. I take the rest of the rings off and hand them to James. Thanks, I say. He replies, no problem. Nick then opens his mouth, his big mouth once more. So, James, you dating anyone? My face turned sour. No, I'm not, he said kind of awkwardly, trying to avoid the question. I mouthed, sorry, to him. He smiled and let out a laugh in return. I turned to get off Nick, but he grabbed my waist and held me down. Not trying to bring any attention to us, I comply and sit back down. Tone it down a bit, would you? You're acting worse than a horny teen, I whisper to him. He doesn't say anything, but starts rubbing the top of my thigh with his thumb. My face instantly goes beet red. Luckily, Tao stays me in and out. Okay, guys, let's go. I'm starving. That was a relief, because, not going to lie, I was kind of turned on in the moment. I stand up quickly and drag Nick by the hand behind me. We enter the car, and I say, "What was that, Nicholas?" He makes a grossed out face. Ew, you never call me Nicholas again. That's so weird coming from you. I roll my eyes. Fine. Nick, what was that? Nothing, I was just excited to see you. He looks out the window opposite from me, trying to hide the fact that his face completely lies. He's lying straight to my face. I smile at my opportunity to embarrass him. You were jealous, weren't you? He scoffs. No, I wasn't. I proper laugh, knowing how bad at lying he is. You're lying. He ignores me, staying silent. In a school kid teasing way, I say, oh, so you weren't jealous of the super tall, had a great style, had a beautiful eyes. He cringes. Oh, God, please shut up. I've never heard something grosser come out of your mouth. I reply, so you don't like it when I compliment other guys. He starts to look annoyed. Charlie, please be quiet. I'm trying to drive. I poke him aggressively. I'll stop when you tell me the truth. You were jealous, yeah? He thinks for a moment before admitting. Fine, I was jealous, but only because he was proper trying to get with you. What the hell was he talking about? All he did was put a few rings on my fingers. What? He sighs and says, so this morning when I woke up and you went to go get changed, your phone was going off like a million times, so I checked it. And it was from the group chat you were in, and that James was like going crazy over the fact that you had a boyfriend. It just seemed weird to me. When he said that, I did feel bad. I didn't want him to be worried about me and another guy. It wasn't fair. I would hate it if some other guy was acting that way about Nick. I don't know James feels that way, but Nick was right. That did seem odd. I'm sorry. I didn't know. But you know I would never, ever, ever do something to disrespect our relationship because it means everything to me. You mean everything to me. He replies, I trust you. But Charlie, you're too nice. And I don't want anyone to take advantage of you. I knew he was right. Ben had walked all over me, and I just let it happen. He took full advantage of me, and I let him do that. I love you, I say, staring at him like he was the most beautiful work of art I'd ever seen. He pulled the car over. What's going on? He cut me off by running his hands over my body and kissing my neck aggressively, his hand placed on my crotch and mine on his chest. He pulled his face off my neck, and I pulled his head closer to by the back of his neck. I pulled off his sweatshirt, which he was wearing nothing underneath, and start laying hickeys all over his collarbone and shoulders. We went back and forth, making each other's skin purple. Charlie, as much as I am enjoying this, like, so much, but it's been like 15 minutes of us just making out on the side of the road in our car. I pull my face off his body and say, fine, let's go. We start driving again, and I pull down the passenger mirror to see how bad the hickeys are, knowing everyone will see them at lunch. Nick grabs my chin and tilts it towards him. Wow, those are some good ones. James will know his place now. I smile and slap his arm. Babe, stop! But, I mean, it was kind of adorable when you're jealous. He smirks. Don't make me pull this car over again. I put my hands in the air. Fine. I'm just saying. Chapter 70, Fist Fight. Charlie's perspective. Nick stops the car in a lot of the restaurant we're meeting everyone at. It was cold and dead. The restaurant seemed to be quiet and not very popular. Tao must have asked to come here for me, because he knows I hate eating in front of crowds. Earlier this year, him and Al seemed to believe I was cured. I was better. I wasn't a complete screw-up anymore, like my mental illness was temporary. A high school thing kids do for attention. They just seemed to think I could throw all that shit out the fucking window and it would just float away like a piece of paper. It makes Nick angry that they were careless and inconsiderate that day at the beach. It doesn't make me angry. It makes me sad. Sad that I'm still fucked up and will never be normal like everyone wishes I was. I believe Nick is deep down angry, not at them, but at me, because I'm still not better and never can be. Nick drags his hand gently across my bruised neck and scoots me one of his breathtaking smiles. His teeth so perfect and his lips. Wow, I mutter, still drooling over his smile, and how much I loved seeing it after not having it around for a few days. His face scrunches up a little. Wow, what? I pinch the corners of his lips. Your smile. I've missed it. He kisses me and replies, You're a cheesy... You know that? I dramatically roll my eyes and say, Okay, let's go and prepare ourselves for Tao's teasing. We walked in and everyone was already seated, and now staring at us, walking through the doors and over to them. Hi, Nick says, waving to the group of new and old faces. Knowing me, I knew something would go wrong if I ate at this restaurant with all these new people. Although they're nice and friendly, I just always feel insecure and mentally sick. I usually want to try, but not today. I didn't want to ruin my day with something stupid like a panic attack. Nick can always help me and make me something at home, like he always does. We sit down beside each other and I can see James staring at my neck. I look away, trying to focus on something else, but my eyes keep checking to see if he's still staring. I'm sitting right against Nick. Our arms and legs were touching. Nick then pulls me towards him and whispers into my ear, Are you ordering anything? If not, we'll share, okay? I smile at how sweet and empathetic my fiancé is. It's still weird thinking of him as my fiancé. I nod and smile at him sweetly. As everyone around talked about food and drinks, Tao looked at me and started silently kissing the air, mocking me and Nick. I mouthed back, Oh my God, you're a child. He just laughs and continues. I start to feel a rush of shivers down my back as I start to get wrapped up in my own thoughts. I feel my wrist itching for me to tear it open. It's like a constant urge whenever I'm stressed or upset. I need to think positive and focus on something else. At least that's what my therapist has advised me to do. Nick's perspective. I could feel Charlie shivering all down his neck and back. He's totally zoned out, like he's on a whole different planet than the rest of us. I know how incredibly hard restaurants are for his condition. He feels pressured to eat because everyone around him is. I can't fix this, but I can help him. I know little things that calm him down. I grab his hand and slide it underneath my thigh. He likes the pressure. He almost feels less exposed It gives him a sense of safety. He smiles before quickly kissing me on the cheek. Thank you. I look over to James, and he's still staring at me and Charlie. Charlie's perspective. Nick slides my hand underneath his thigh. I really needed that distraction. When he does this, it's like my wrist has disappeared, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't think you've kissed enough today, James bellowed. My face turned red from anger. He had no say in what we do or how much we kissed. Why does it matter? Nick says in an agitated tone. Elle then says, yeah, why does it matter to you, mate? Tao sinks into his seat, trying to hide from the fact that he's laughing. Elle slaps his arm. Tao, grow up. James looks annoyed and makes this slimy remark. You guys are too touchy. Like, you're in public. Come on, is that really necessary? Nick is now looking really angry. Actually, it is necessary. James scoffs and laughs, a fake sarcastic laugh. How so? Nick looks at me, then back down. He's at a loss for words, and it's my fault. Nick would rather look stupid than out me like that in front of everyone. I know he doesn't care, but I feel bad for him not being able to tell everyone the truth. James then says, that's what I thought. You guys have some mad attachment issues. Something crazy like that. After he said that, I immediately whipped my head around to look at Nick. He looked so flustered and embarrassed. My heart pounded and ached for Nick. My palms were starting to sweat. God, why would he say that? I was so mad. My mind felt like it was spinning. Nick tried to say something back, but just hesitated and looked down. I've never seen him so embarrassed and ashamed. He's never like this. This was going to fuck up. I could actually see myself sitting there, getting bullied with the same expression he had plastered across his face. What the fuck is wrong with you? I say on the edge of my chair. He obviously has major issues, and you don't deserve that. I cut him off with, don't fucking talk about him like that. I got up from my chair, and I couldn't control myself any longer. I walked over to him and punched him square in the face. Charlie! Nick screams, in a worried tone. My knuckles hit his face as hard as they could. Before I could hit him again, Nick picked me up from behind and carried me out of the restaurant. Alright everyone, that is the end of today's episode. Lots of drama in today's episode. In our next episode, we will continue Marriage, a Heartstopper fanfiction, chapter 71, Am I a Burden? So, be aware of that. The name alone should give you a little bit of context. But yeah, like, subscribe, leave comments down below, whether it's recommendations or whether it's just saying hello. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to talk to you guys, have you guys say hello. You guys are very interesting. I would love to talk to you guys. Anyway, once again, I could be changing the channel name. I know, super sad, super awful. Alec is actually my middle name. It is not my first name. So I'm thinking about changing it to my first name, which is Ezrin. If y'all are wondering, it's Ezrin. So, it could be changing to Ezrin Reads instead of Alec, but I feel like Alec Reads has a better ring to it. So leave in the comments whether you think that it would be a good change, bad change, whether you don't really mind it, whether, give me advice. I need advice. I'm stuck here. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, friends.